Good morning everybody and welcome back to the third of our 4 videos taking a look at my predictions for the LEGO Legend of Zelda license if we begin to see it this summer. Because I'm recording these in advance, I have absolutely no clue if any rumours have started to circulate. However, if they had, maybe this video will never be reaching you. But if it is, then it means unfortunately we are still waiting to know if LEGO and the Legend of Zelda is a partnership that will be happening either in 2022 or 2023. So today I present to you what I would absolutely love to see, completely unlikely, completely impossible, but my absolute dream for what I want this license to be. Now, if you haven't checked out the other 2 videos in this sort of mini-series we've been doing where I've been making predictions, I've already predicted the most likely wave of what I think are the most lock picks for a LEGO Legend of Zelda partnership, and this is more my personal wish list for those of you that care. There's going to be some interesting ones to take a look at today, so I hope you will stick around to the end. And let's get straight into my dream LEGO Zelda wave. So the first thing up on my list is going to be a controversial one. I would love to see a LEGO Legend of Zelda advent calendar. They provide the opportunity to do some wacky offbeat characters with some Christmas designs that we won't get to see anywhere outside of LEGO, really. Just nowhere. At no point is Nintendo going to do Christmas Zelda. It's just not going to happen. But also to do the thing that advent calendars do best, and that is world build. Not only do we get lots of exclusive prints, like in the Harry Potter calendar, where we got like Diagon Alley, the Leaky Cauldron sign, all these special things that help world build, but we also get a lot of small builds like trees, post boxes and things, just that sort of add that Zelda-y feel to any of the mocks you're working on. They're the perfect little parts packs and they're all done in a nice seasonal bit of flair, and I would absolutely love to see one in an official Zelda wave, despite it being pretty unlikely. Next up is another set I talked about in my most likely video, was the Iron Knuckle encounter. This is one of my strongest picks, and due with all the history of Wes Talbot's project back in 2013 and the fact that he now works for the company, I do seriously think that I would love to see an Iron Knuckle encounter, just to pay a bit of homage to that original 10k supporters set, or at least what I count to be the original 10k supporters set. It'd be an absolutely lovely moment to do in LEGO with the Iron Knuckle, and you could even do a bit of a blurb in the back, in the front, where it came from and all that. I'd just absolutely love to see it. If they included the poster, that would be awesome as well. I mean, I doubt Nintendo would let them, but this is a dream video, not a likely video, so I would pretty much kill to get the Iron Knuckle encounter as a real set. Next up is an expandable Hyrule Castle. While I don't care if we don't see a Hyrule Castle in the first wave of LEGO Legend of Zelda, I would like to see a form of Hyrule Castle where you can add to it by buying multiple copies of sets. Particularly the Breath of the Wild version, it's my favourite version of Hyrule Castle and definitely the most expandable. I also don't think it would work with the other castles considering they're not quite as sprawling. However, it would be seriously awesome to be able to buy multiple playsets and connect them together just like we did in the day with Blackgate and Helm's Deep from LEGO Lord of the Rings. Next up we have Battle Packs. I would absolutely love to see Legend of Zelda Battle Packs so that I can build my various factions of Hyrule. Less so for the individual races and more so for the castle soldiers, Bokoblins, Lizalfos, Moblins, and ice enemies. You know, just like all the varieties of enemies are so colourful in Zelda, and I think they potentially have some of the best ideas for battle packs to be expandable. And that goes particularly for the Lizalfos and Bokoblin, who can have sprawling camps just by connecting these same builds together over and over again. If you haven't seen those videos here on the channel, I recommend checking those out because they really show you the full potential of LEGO Legend of Zelda battle packs. The next one up is a bit of a vague point, and I bring this up with almost every video I make nowadays. Variety. I would love for variety. Variety is one of the biggest things. If I could ever walk into a store and see something like this on your screen now, with all of the sets piled up together from all the different games and all the different representation, that would be the dream. I'm really scared at the moment that a LEGO Legend of Zelda partnership would be Breath of the Wild and 1 or 2 exclusive, so for me it is all about getting those classic sets, and I'd be pretty disappointed if we didn't. Next up, some Skyward Sword love. A completely biased thing towards a game that I'm completely biased towards. I really don't think it's likely that we'll see too much from Skyward Sword, given its reputation and how just like not as much there is. However, I'd really love to see the Guardians from the Silent Realm. I would love those. A Loftwing, which is probably the most likely thing from Skyward Sword, and some of the more iconic locations such as the Fire Temple, which is on your screen. If we don't get a Girahim minifigure, then I'm pretty sure we're going to riot. However, the Skyward Sword Land Guardian is my top pick from that game that I absolutely really want to see, and unfortunately is pretty unlikely. Next up, speaking of Guardians, we have the Breath of the Wild Guardians. Another one that's probably fairly likely, but I really want to see LEGO's interpretation of, is the Breath of the Wild Guardian, probably in Watcher form. However, Skywatcher would also be kind of cool. Sorry, Stalker form. However, I think it'd be really cool as a model, and I think it'd be great to have as on a shelf piece. I think it would look great, and I really want one. I might have to build my own soon. Next up is the champions. The champions from Breath of the Wild have a debatable place in the Zelda community where most people absolutely love them, but agree that they could have done with some more character building. And yeah, I can agree with that. However, that doesn't stop me wanting them in minifigure form. They've become such a big part of recent Zelda history that I think they absolutely deserve their own sets. Next up is the expanded universe stuff, and this one's going to take me a little minute to explain. When I'm talking about expanded universe, I mean not necessarily like the non-canon games, but those games that don't get any of the love. So this includes a couple of the 2D ones, but mostly I'm talking about stuff like Cadence of Hyrule and the original Hyrule Warriors, where they aren't canon, they're just their own little sub-adventures, but I'm telling you right now, I would literally kill for a Glockenspiel. That is just the coolest set idea in my head. I just love the idea of a Glockenspiel. It's such a funny word to say. No, I really want to see some expanded universe stuff. Less so Hyrule Warriors, it's more just on here for the sake of it. I'd love some Major Calamity stuff, although I feel like that's a bit more likely. However, Cadence would be my top wish for expanded universe stuff to see, and as I said, I just want Glockenspiel in a set. It's not going to happen though, unfortunately. Next up is a dungeon builder, and this I don't necessarily mean the style of dungeon builder that I've been showcasing on the channel. I would very easily take a LEGO Minecraft crafting box style dungeon builder where you're just given the instructions to build a load of stuff like vine walls or Pacific puzzles, and you've got to rearrange them like a bit like a classic set or something like that. That would be equally as interesting to me as long as it came with one exclusive character, and then of course you guys know that I would absolutely love to see a dungeon builder very similar to what I've done. That would be a special moment if that happened. And then my last thing, talking of special things, is I want something special. Now, Digilink's on your screen, but that does not necessarily mean that my something special has to be a Digilink to fit the Digi Mario system. I just mean that the love that they put into LEGO Mario really created something special. And love or hate it, the LEGO Mario system is something so unique and so much of a love letter to the Mario franchise. I personally adore the thing, and I just wish and I hope that one day when we get LEGO Legend of Zelda sets, even if they're normal, that there is just some special piece of magic in them that makes them everything we dream them to be. And that is really it. That's the most important thing for me. I have to see something that is gonna make me really appreciate it as a license. And that's all I really want. At the end of the day, I've been a bit picky there. They're my dream picks. They're sort of what I want to see. Of course, there are other sets. I would love to see a Monk Mazcosia in a similar style to the one I did. Hinoxes and stuff would all be great, and the inclusion of like just 2D games and things. I'd love to see Big Octo. They're all just things that are never going to happen. A Koga Bust even. Things that I expect to never ever see in my LEGO Zelda life. However, if I can ever go into a Tesco's, just like the one you're seeing on your screen now, and buy something even 10% as varied as this, it will be enough for me, and that will be a beautiful day. So in the meantime, while we're waiting for LEGO Legend of Zelda, let me know your absolute dream picks down below. I cannot wait to hear them, because you never know, if I like them enough, they may turn into custom sets here on the channel, and then you'll get to see them before LEGO will ever make them. How does that make you feel? Bad. Either way, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.